World Glaucoma Week, and this is just a time for us to get knowledge, about what is going on with our eyes, what happens, who can be affected by glaucoma. So much information that I'm going to enjoy, learning, imbibing, and disseminating as well. And joining me in the studio for this very purpose is somebody that has already given me a lot of information I didn't know, and that is Dr. Aderonke Dawodu, who's a consultant ophthalmologist at the General Hospital in Lagos Island and a member of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria. Dr. Dawodu, good morning, and thank you for joining me.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So, it's now, this is a conversation that we would love you to be a part of, right? So make sure you send your WhatsApp messages in to 0809 444 You can also call up on this number 0144899981. And we are streaming live right now on youtube.com/smooth981FM. So you can leave your comments up on the live stream, whatever questions you have, whatever contributions you want to make to the conversation, go ahead and do just that. And I've left something out, and that would be Twitter. Yes, hashtag Lagos Talks 981 up on Twitter. So there are a lot of platforms that you can join this conversation on. The main one, because it is Lagos Talks, is 0144899981. But don't you worry, I check regularly and obsessively all of the platforms just so that we can get your contributions to the conversation. So, glaucoma awareness, the world is bright, save your sight.
Save your sight.
That's a theme. That's a
Save your
theme and a
sight.
half. Okay, so Dr. Dowdy, the first thing that I would love to ask is, let's just get the ball rolling on this. If we're going to be talking about glaucoma, let's define the topic. So, what exactly is glaucoma?
Glaucoma is an optic nerve disease that affects the nerves, but we don't really know the cause of glaucoma. A lot of research has been going on, but we know it's an optic neuropathy. That means it's an optic nerve disease, whereby the main risk factor is the intraocular pressure. But other risk factors exist, which are blood, anything that has um, problems with the blood flow, like diabetes, hypertension, sickle cell,
Okay.
and people that are really short-sighted. And just being of the black race is one the big risk factor in glaucoma. There are different types of
All right,
glaucoma
that
as well,
affects all of us as Nigerians. We are members of this race.
of course, and that's why we're making so much noise. But there are different types of glaucoma. There's the open angle one and the closed angle one. But with us,
Okay, hold on. So, what is the difference between the two, first of all?
fantastic. We have a part of the eye that we call the angle, where the fluid that is built up in the eye flows out into the blood vessels. Now, with those with the at the angle, there's like a mesh work, like something that sieves out the fluid and goes into the blood vessels.
Okay.
With open angle glaucoma, it's open, but the mesh is not doing its job properly. That means the mesh is blocked for some reason or the other.
Right.
With a closed angle, the angle is completely closed. It doesn't flow into it at all. A bit different. Now, people with very like Asian people of the Asian descent with smaller eyes and Chinese and stuff like that, they have more of the closed angle glaucoma as opposed to
Okay.
people that are of our descent usually have more of the open angle glaucoma. And
How to
people
tell if you've got big eyes?
people that are short-sighted that have big eyes actually are more at risk
Oh,
of
wow, really?
having glaucoma or having open angle glaucoma. People that are very short, long-sighted with all these plus lines are actually at risk of having closed angle glaucoma. So it's actually quite confusing. The upsetting part of it for everybody is that you could actually go through life not realizing that you actually have glaucoma, and then one day it's gone.
Your eyesight.
Eyesight.
Wow. So, okay, just.
Sorry, one more thing that
Mhm.
is quite important, in fact, one of the most important risk factors is hereditary. If there's a family history of glaucoma, it is absolutely important that everybody in that family gets checked. And when I mean family history, it's not just, oh, my mother, my father, it could be my uncle, a brother somewhere, a grandfather, that family. So it might be first cousin, second cousin. We all need to look into our family. Because when we ask patients sometimes, do you have a family history? They say, oh, no. But then we find out that there actually is families because one uncle somewhere has it. So family history is actually quite important
All right.
in whether you have glaucoma or not.
Okay. Now, so you've taken us through the people who are more at risk of getting glaucoma. So, did you hold on? I wasn't quite sure. Is there an age? What's the word I'm looking for? An age angle to this?
Not really.
Okay.
We do have some babies that are born with congenital glaucoma,
Really?
and those babies have a slightly different pathology in the fact that most of them, the mothers actually have some illness while the eye is developing.
Ah.
Maybe in the first trimester of life, that's the first, most times even before the mother knows that she's pregnant, she might have a febrile illness, and we find out that maybe she had rubella, which is one of the most common causes of glaucoma, congenital glaucoma. Now, during that stage of development in utero, things might go wrong if the mother was ill, and it will affect the child. So the child is born with glaucoma. Now, we also have some children that would have developmental glaucoma, which means that as they're growing, they would develop glaucoma. Now, a colleague yesterday said to me, oh my God, I had a child that came into my clinic yesterday morning, and she had about 80% nerve um, nerve loss from glaucoma, and she's only 6. I said, yeah, that does happen, and it's sad, doesn't it? Because we actually had a baby that was about 1 year plus, and is already blind from glaucoma. So there's no age limit. But for the family history, those that are genetically prone to glaucoma, we say by the time you're about 35, 40, you need to get your eyes checked regularly. Now, all those that just go to the roadside person to get their online glasses, off the counter glasses, we say, please don't do that. Make sure you get your eyes checked at least once in your lifetime by an ophthalmologist. If possible, every time you get your glasses checked, have it checked by an ophthalmologist or even an optometrist. An optometrist will screen, can easily screen and refer you appropriately for management.
So now, a very quick question: how does a person tell if if they have glaucoma? Because you talked about how we'll just be going through life and we won't know until the eyesight is gone. So what are the symptoms that we can hold on to as lay people to just say, okay, I might just need to get my eyes checked? Or is it that there are no symptoms that we can notice and it's just by going to an ophthalmologist or an optometrist?
We have a name for it. Um, Lay people call it the thief in the night. I can't remember the Yoruba name for it, but it's similar to the thief in the night. It just comes and steals your vision. That's what we say. Now, most people, 95% of people, don't have any symptoms. Those that have
Wow.
symptoms are those that probably have maybe the um, pressure goes up very high for some reason, they have eye ache, and by that time it's really bad. Most people would say they really don't have any symptoms. A few people that are very sensitive would realize that when they're driving, they probably don't see things till somebody jumps in front of them, so jumps in front of them literally, and that's because they've lost the vision at the side, and their visual field is now very narrow. You also get a few people that would tell you that I changed my glasses 6 months ago and I still can't see very well with it. And I've gone to one, two, three doctors and I've changed my glasses so regularly. I need to have it done properly. And that's when they actually get to an ophthalmologist. Most people would not have any symptoms. And that's why we say you need to be regularly checked by an eye doctor to have proper tests done, especially if there's a family history.
Right. Okay. So just to go through them in case I've missed anything. Now you've talked about how the majority of people who may have glaucoma may not have symptoms, noticeable symptoms, but in case of the few that do, that we have eye ache from the buildup of the pressure, loss of peripheral vision in some cases. Okay, then for people who continually have to change their prescription but still have problems with their vision. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't missed out on
No,
any.
you haven't.
Oh,
Another
perfect.
thing that you could, some of them say is that
Hmm.
they just feel like everything is not clear, even though they can see, but they just notice that it's just not clear. Things look a bit funny, and when at the much later part of the disease,
Hmm.
they can only see things right in front of them. They might actually see the central vision very clearly, but that's it. They've lost all the surroundings.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now we've got this question in from Emeka up on WhatsApp, and we don't have time right now, but I'm going to ask the question. We'll go on a break, and when we get back from the break, you'll be able to, I'll get you to answer it, Dr. Dawudu. So this message from Emeka asks, is there a correlation between having jaundice at birth and glaucoma as an adult? We're going to go on a quick break. Leave you with a sense of anticipation so that Dr. Dowdy answers that question when we get back. This is Lagos Talks on Smooth Breakfast. I'm Shopper Martins, and today we're talking glaucoma awareness. The world is bright. Save your sight. Stick with us.
You're listening to the Smooth Breakfast.
Okay. So, I need you to speak up. We can't really hear you.
Wow.
Your voice is very low. I turned your mic up to the loudest and pushed it up here as well. Your voice is actually quite gentle and very low.
That's terrible. And people say I shout. No, I'm actually a bit tired. When I'm tired, my voice it affects my voice more than anything else.
This is how low your voice is.
Oh my god!
Now we need voices like this. Yes,
But
yes, yes.
it sounds croaky when I go like that.
It sounds,
That's why I
it
took
sounds
water.
like we can hear you when you go
We're
like
going
that.
to have to work with any volume we get. It's really low, especially on YouTube.
Oh my
Radio, you
god!
can still manage your
Yeah, I
sound.
managed.
On YouTube,
I pushed up the
Was it
sound.
very low?
very painful. I have headphones on and I'm struggling to hear you, but I can hear it.
Alright.
How close can we bring this
I
thing?
really was trying to bring it so close, but it's not moving.
Oh
Our
my
engineers
god!
have done their job a little too well and
Alright.
secured everything in place.
Alright. Let me see. Is that better? You can't get there. My voice has gone.
You can try. You can try.
Alright.
It's the trying will show you. Will show up. All right, let's have a look. People have sent in. Oh, that's so lovely.
What's that?
Hello, Shepherd. This okay. Benjamin Okorie has sent in his message. All right, Benjamin. Now, have you sent in your messages on? Let me reach this site. Okay, we're back in. Smooth 98.1, 16 minutes gone past 9 o'clock, and you are tuned in to your Love Music, Love Life station. I'm Shokbe Martins, and this is Smooth Breakfast. And you know what happens on Smooth Breakfast in the 9 o'clock hour. That is when Lagos, you get to talk. This is the number you can call me up on 0144899981. And I see your messages coming in on Twitter using the hashtag Lagos Talks 981. I see them coming in on WhatsApp on this number 0809 440 And of course, leave a comment up on the live stream on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. I'll be going over there in just a moment. Now, in the studio with me is Dr. Aderonke Dawodu, who is a consultant ophthalmologist at the General Hospital in Lagos Island and a member of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria. And she's here with me as we discuss a very pertinent topic that apparently likes to ravage the black race, and that is glaucoma. So this is a glaucoma awareness special with the theme "The World is Bright, Save Your Sight," because March 6th to 12th every year, that is Glaucoma Awareness Week. So let's get aware, people, shall we? All right. So Dr. Dowdy, just before we went on a break, someone had sent in a message, Emeka, who said, "Is there a correlation between having jaundice at birth and glaucoma as an adult?" And now we await your answer.
I hope I'm louder this time because
You too, can you hear her?
I've just been told that I was too my voice was too low. All right then. Emeka, thank you for sending in your question. Jaundice, not really, not a direct correlation, but children that have jaundice might have had um, congenital rubella and might actually come up with congenital glaucoma rather than the jaundice being coming up from having glaucoma from the jaundice. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So you could have congenital glaucoma from jaundice, not the adult onset
Ah,
glaucoma.
okay. All right. So, yeah, so you can have it from the jaundice as a child.
No,
No?
you could have jaundice from congenital rubella, and congenital rubella could give you congenital glaucoma.
Oh, wow. That is 6 degrees of separation in action right
Exactly.
now.
So I mean, not that you would now develop glaucoma in adulthood from the jaundice.
So, no
No
correlation.
correlation.
All right. Now, we got this message in up on Twitter using the hashtag, well, actually, no, to at smooth981fm. Sometimes you can just tag us in at smooth981fm, but the hashtag is Lagos Talks 981. And Benjamin Okorie says, thank you for this all important topic, dwelling on a sickness ravaging a lot of people. He goes on to say, please, what does Dr. Dowdu have to say about many eye drugs trending in social media as remedies for glaucoma? How come there's no real remedy yet for this age long problem?
Thank you, Benjamin. Honestly, sometimes we ask ourselves, what are we doing wrong? But honestly, the reason why there's so much noise about it is that the whole world has not been able to find a cure. There's so much research going on with glaucoma worldwide, and that's why we have this World Glaucoma Week. The whole world, every single ophthalmologist is trying to figure out why we have glaucoma. Very similar to why there's no cure for hypertension. We can only control glaucoma.
Okay, so there's medication to manage
Okay.
the
So
disease.
yeah, we have eye drops to manage the disease. The only indices we can hold on to is the pressure. Unfortunately for us, we have people that have normal pressure, but their optic nerve is still in jeopardy. So some people are prone to it. Their optic nerves are sensitive, and then we also have the blood vessels. If the blood vessels are not supplying properly, they are at risk. So we have three, four things that are so working together. So we can't really say we have a cure. We can only control. Now, what we do is to try to reduce the pressure in the eye.
Okay.
That's one. The second thing is to increase the blood supply to the eye with some of the eye drops we give. The last thing is what we call antioxidants. Now, most of the things that are trending on social media are antioxidants. What are antioxidants? They're vitamins, a lot of vitamins, high vitamins that would help mop up what we call free radicals. Free radicals are things that are they're substances that the body releases when cells die. We get it everywhere, and those are the things that we cause aging. Now, those free radicals, if there are lots of it, they increase the aging process. But when we can mop up as much of free radicals as possible, we can sort of not completely reverse, but sort of delay the aging process.
Right.
So now, when the optic nerve cells are dying, a lot of free radicals are produced, and those free radicals will go on to damage more cells. So if we can mop up as much as possible, then we can sort of control the amount of death that is happening with the thing. So most of these drugs, most of these things that are on the social media are actually antioxidants. So that's
Okay.
just the part. So I mean, I won't throw them away, but I won't stop my eye drops because somebody says they can give me antioxidants.
Now, Dr. Dowdy, do you have the numbers for how many, what percentage of the world's population that glaucoma affects?
Yeah, I did want to introduce you with that.
Okay.
Over 80 million worldwide are blind from glaucoma.
Wow.
It's the commonest cause of irreversible damage, blindness worldwide.
My goodness. How do you feel about that news, people? Did you know that? Keep on sending your messages via WhatsApp to 0809 440 981. And of course, you can call us up on 01 Now, going on to more questions that people are asking, Michael has come in with this one saying, please ask Dr. Dowdu if glaucoma can cause strabismus. I'm not quite sure what that is.
Thank you, Michael. Strabismus is a squint. I mean, the eyes are not aligned in the same direction.
Ah.
You can see some people that the eyes come in or go out. Ah, good question. Glaucoma doesn't cause strabismus directly, but what happens is if the eye goes blind, if one eye goes blind and it doesn't have enough stimulation, the eye starts going out, it starts moving out, and it sort of gets it's malaligned. One eye starts looking out. So if that eye actually is blind from glaucoma, then it moves out.
Okay. Okay. The things I'm learning today, the things I am learning today. And so, Michael, hope that that should have answered your question. And Zen has sent in a few messages. So let's see what Zen has to say. Says, please, could Dr. Dowd touch on the issue of nystagmus in toddlers and pediatrics non-visual acuity regarding judging depth and height, etc., and what parents can do to manage or effectively decipher what's going on with the child. Zen also says glaucoma can only be managed, and one of the best products locally is Prostin, and that's what's available locally. I'm sure you'll be telling us about this, Dr. Dowdu. And he says it's an eye drop with great stability. All right, Zen. Thank you. So, first of all, nystagmus, am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, you are.
What is that?
Nystagmus is when you see the eye just moves up and down, it oscillates.
Okay,
That's what nystagmus is.
right.
Um, I won't touch too much on nystagmus and pediatrics and non-visual acuity, blah blah blah, because we're actually talking about glaucoma. This is glaucoma week. That has more to do with strabismus squint, and then would it would be nice if you could just get to talk to us offline.
Mm.
Nystagmus is doesn't glaucoma doesn't really cause nystagmus. The reason why a child with glaucoma might have nystagmus is because the eye is searching to see. It's just not seeing very well. So it's like most children that have nystagmus are searching. The eye is like searching, and that's why it's sort of moving around, just searching to make sure it can make have a focus on a particular object. So we have that, and there are other causes of nystagmus.
Okay.
Also, then Prostan has not come here to tell us that he's sponsoring the program. So Latano Prost, which is what Prostan is one of the drugs that we use to treat glaucoma.
Zen, I suspect you. Who are you working for right now?
Honestly,
All right. So, okay. So, question I have for you, because you've talked to us about, the symptoms that may occur in a few cases where people have um, glaucoma, and so things that we should watch out for, and I will be bringing those up again just in case. But now, when you go to the ophthalmologist, or in some cases optometrist, and they to have your test, how exactly is glaucoma detected? in those in when you go to the ophthalmologist? What needs to be done? What tests need to be carried out?
Thank you very much, Shokwe. The first thing we do is to check your visual acuity. Like I said to someone yesterday as well, visual acuity will just tell you that the person can see up to a distance, but we don't really use that as the complete test. Because even somebody that has, a person that has advanced glaucoma that's about to go blind tomorrow might be able to see, but the peripheral vision is not good. So the next thing we
Wow.
ask for is to have the pressure checked. The pressure check is also one of the things that we can control with the drugs. And so it's one of our baseline studies. But like I said, even a person with glaucoma could have normal tension.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we have that. So what is one it's the one thing that we can control, which
Okay.
is the pressure. The next thing we ask for is the visual field test. And that is the machine sort of tells us how much vision you have in the periphery, in your visual field. That is the seeing the field of vision. So that is very important, very, very important. It's the key thing that will tell us how extensive the glaucoma is. The last thing that we also ask for is called an OCT, it's optic coherence tomography, and that gives us a picture of the eye. It's sort of yeah, like a picture of the scan of the eye, but shows us a visual picture of what's happening as well.
Okay.
So those are the tests that we usually ask for.
Please, more information on the pressure test. It sounds a little painful. I can't lie to you right now. How do you conduct that pressure test? Is this like air being blown into how?
Ah. During a screening exercise,
Mm-hmm.
there's the one that we call the air puff. It's a non-contact one, and it's just the air that just goes boom, boom. But then that's not as reliable as the one that we use within the hospital, which is
Uh-huh.
the tonometer that actually touches the eyeball. Sounds horrible and gruesome, but
A
really
little
isn't.
bit. A
Really
little
isn't.
bit.
Really
Okay.
isn't. What we do is we'll put a few drops of anesthesia on your eye so that you actually don't feel any pain. You
Okay.
would know we're touching you, but you don't feel any pain because we've already anesthetized the eye.
Okay.
So it's actually not bad.
Okay. Okay.
It's quite cool, you know.
Thank you for that. I think I needed to be reassured on that. All right. So I've got more questions for you, and of course, if you have questions, please no drug recommendations. Send your messages into 0809 444 0981. We've had some pretty interesting questions in already, and we'd love to get more. Like I said, if you are just tuning in, by the way, the topic for discussion on today's Lagos Talk special is that of glaucoma. We're trying to raise the awareness and keep no, not even raise the awareness, because you've been raising awareness for quite a
Every
while
year.
now.
Yeah.
Yes, on an annual basis. No, this is to keep the awareness high and to continue to disseminate this information as far as it can go. So it is glaucoma awareness. The world is bright. Save your sight. We've got to go on a very quick break right now. When we get back, more here on the Lagos Talks on a Smooth Breakfast as we discuss this very pertinent thing that affects 80 million people worldwide. That's a big number.
Future Forward Bank.
This man works with God. How does he know every pharmaceutical? I suspect him.
Or maybe he's just.
And he probably is using know somebody that uses that particular brand.
Mm.
Yeah, it's actually quite a good one.
Wow, this is us on YouTube. Hello, YouTube viewers. How are you? What do you think about the information so far? Is there anyone that you know of in your family that maybe you have a family history of glaucoma? Have you gotten yourself tested? Do you regularly get yourself? In fact, that's true. That's the question I need to ask. So you need regular checkups? Have you said this on air? Do you need regular checkups? Okay. Did you say
No,
this on
no.
air? I
I
can't.
said every time you want to have your glasses checked, it's best we repeat it because I
Okay.
probably got lost.
Okay, so you need regular checkups. Now, for people with perfect vision, because I can't tell you now. Should I tell you? Because no, I'm just shaming myself. But I haven't been to the opticians. ophthalmologist or optometrist in a few years now because perfect vision. I blink at you, but yeah. So now I need to go and get myself checked. Yeah,
If you have a family history.
I don't know if I have a family history, but I know I'm black.
So what we'd say is most people that
Mhm.
don't need glasses anyway will probably start needing glasses for reading when they're about 40.
Okay, let's go on and talk about
Yeah.
this. All right, here we are, 32 minutes, almost 33 minutes gone past 9 o'clock. And Lagos, you are talking. I'm Shopka Martins. This is Smooth Breakfast. And for the 9 o'clock hour on Lagos Talks, we are discussing glaucoma. And I've got Dr. Adirunke Dawudu in the studio with me. She's a member of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria and a consultant ophthalmologist at General Hospital in Lagos Island. And we've been having quite an interesting discussion for the YouTube viewers. Thank you for the YouTube viewers that was off air, but we are going to bring on air now. So it started off with me asking you, Dr. Daudu, about whether or not you need regular checkups. I think you discussed this before. Before I go into the so before we go into that conversation, let's take this call on 0144899981. Hello, good morning. Good morning. What's your name and your location? All right, Emmanuel from Sterling contribution to the conversation. Conversation.
I actually wanted to ask one important question. I wanted to find out something about because I have a case right now. I've been wearing glasses for a while, so I have a retinal detachment. But I have two retinal detachments of the same eye. So what I want to find out from the doctor now is after the second retinal detachment that I had last year, I was told that my left eye accident. I was told that my eyes are weak.
I'm so sorry. There seems to be something going on with that call. We were getting a lot of feedback. But if you do want to contact Dr. Daudu about eye diseases that and your retinal detachment, I'm sure that you can give him information on where to contact you once you
General
go
Hospital.
off the show, which is at the General Hospital. All right, so thank you so much for your call, though. Do remember, call us up as we discuss glaucoma, people. That's the topic for today's Lagos Talks. So, Dr. Dowd, I was saying, do you need I'm sure you mentioned this before while we were talking about this, but I think I may have forgotten. So, do we need regular checkups when it comes to glaucoma?
Well, I did cursory go over it, but I think we need to speak about it now. Well, if everybody does what we're meant to do, most times when we're going to go and start work, or you're going for youth service, or you're going to start school, there's a form that we're supposed to fill to have medical tests done and visual tests done. Most people just go to say, oh, please, can I have it done? Can you just fill something in? We actually need to have these eyes tested properly at those times. School entry, university entry, going to start work, very important to have the eyes tested and actually looked at.
Okay.
Now, most people by the age of 40 would need reading glasses. What we say is for people that they don't know whether they have a family history, you're going around, have those eyes tested at the time when you're going to start using glasses.
Okay. Dr. Dowdu, what?
Just a minute. If you have a family history of glaucoma, you need to have your eyes tested every 2 years before the age of 40. Well, maybe every 5 years before the age of 40. By the age of 40, get your eyes tested every 2 years. Now, if you do have glaucoma and it's been detected, then you have to see the doctor regularly. And your doctor will become your friend for life. Your eye doctor becomes your friend for life because there's no cure, like we said, it's just being controlled. Even if you started on treatment and you started on eye drops, at some point in time, you might be told to have surgery, you might still continue on the eye drops. So we have to control and continue seeing you at intervals to know what happened. Even if you've had developmental glaucoma in your childhood, your doctor becomes your friend for life. Your eye doctor becomes a friend for life.
All right. So hold on. Now, here's the question because I know earlier on in the show you said that there was no age factor to glaucoma, that you can have even babies who have glaucoma. But then you also talk. I had seen somewhere, online, as you do, that there was that when it came that it used to be. I mean, at a higher risk were African Americans over 40. But then you now talk about reading glasses and how most people will get tested for reading glasses around the age of 40. So is that the correlation to um, hold on,
Glasses.
I'm trying to
No,
figure
it isn't.
out my
I'll,
question.
I'll
Is
help
that
you
the
out.
correlation
I'll help you out.
to the percentage that we're seeing, to the numbers that we're seeing?
Most people with glaucoma in adulthood, we find out that it's around that age, 35, 40, that they start developing it. If you're going to have developed glaucoma in childhood, it's childhood. Adult onset glaucoma usually starts around the age of about 40.
Okay.
And that's why we say start getting your glasses. When you're going to get your glasses, have an eye check. Just have an eye check anyway. Whether you have glaucoma or not, have an eye check.
Okay. Now, now I know we have. I've said this before, and you know this as well, but it is glaucoma awareness week from the 6th to the 12th of March. So, are there screenings for this glaucoma awareness week? And if there are, who's the organizer? Before you answer this, I'll just take this call, see what you have to say about this. Hello, good morning. I'm okay. Yes, so we did tell you that if you have other eye issues, you will need to contact the doctor when she is off air, right? Because right now the topic that we are discussing is glaucoma. We are trying to, increase the awareness of glaucoma, as this is Glaucoma Awareness Week. All right, so do remember, uh, yes, there are many eye issues out there, and she is, like I said, a consultant ophthalmologist at General Hospital in Lagos Island. So you can go and check her over there and contact her there as well. We're going to take a break right now. Oh, actually, hold on. Are we going to take a break right now? What am I saying? No, we're not. Let's keep going. So, back to what we were saying. Yeah, so now you've said that glaucoma, there is childhood glaucoma, but then adult onset glaucoma comes in around 35 to 40 years old. And so screenings,
Screening.
back to screenings.
Fantastic. Right now, OSN, Ophthalmology Society of Nigeria, is nearly every general hospital is having a screening exercise right now. But there's another general screening organized by the OSN at the Sickle Cell Center, Idiaraba, on Thursday. I hope I've got that right. Thursday, glaucoma screening. That's tomorrow
Okay.
for general public.
Okay.
It's been going on.
From what time?
I think from 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Where can we get more information about this? Because
Yes, I need to get that information. So I'll before we finish, I'll be able to give you the times and everything for the screening exercise that's being held in Lagos.
Okay.
But most general hospitals have been organizing screening for their staff, for members of public, and everybody's into this now for this week.
All right. So, as we come to the end of the show for this, it's just, is there anything that we haven't quite touched on that you think is pertinent for us to know about glaucoma?
Yeah. For babies, one of the things that they present with, because right now I see a lot of babies with congenital glaucoma, nothing is done. They usually present with these big eyeballs. They say, their eyeballs are really big. We call them bull's eye because the eyeballs will be really big. Not the black part of the eye is the one that I'm talking about that gets really big and sort of discolored. It looks very hazy, like a bluish color. Please, if anybody has a baby and sees a baby that's born, they need to get them to hospital ASAP.
That's actually true, because when it comes to adults, we can, even if we don't have as many symptoms to hold on to, we can at least kind of diagnose ourselves, and we can go and get ourselves checked, right? But babies can't speak.
Children, you see small children and they're bumping into things quite often, or their parents say go and pick something and says ring kokon, he never finds anything. Somebody else will just go there and find. And you ask them to go somewhere, they always miss, they hit themselves and stuff like that. Please come. Another thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people that have eye injuries, a lot of eye injuries, if you check them, they actually do have glaucoma.
Oh wow.
We're looking into it. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like proven, but I find out in practice that, and that's because they've lost peripheral vision. Someone says, "Oh, he slapped me," and they come into the hospital. We look into the eyes, the glaucoma in the second eye, or something because something is coming. You don't see what's coming fast enough for your blink and your no natural reflex to take over.
Right. Okay.
So you don't blink or you don't sort of move your head fast enough because you've lost the peripheral vision.
Right.
So that's another thing. And sometimes we say to them that it's even a good thing that you had this trauma to your eye or that this thing hit you in the eye, because if you never had it, you might never have come to the hospital till you've lost your vision. And that is another thing.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be grateful for that
yeah,
injury if it means
exactly.
that they get to keep their sight by managing their glaucoma.
Exactly.
Right. Wow. Wow,
So
wow,
that's
wow.
another thing that we've noticed as well.
So, people, it is imperative that you make sure that you get yourself checked at those points that you need to get yourself checked. All right. So, like Dr. Dowdy said, this can be when you're entering school, when you're entering university, at the start of work, by the age of 40, when most people tend to get their eyes checked for reading glasses. And then also, if you notice that you have a loss of peripheral vision, if everything is just not clear, even though you can see, if it's just hazy, if you've got eye ache, that might be from a buildup of pressure. And if you're constantly having to change your prescriptions and you still have problems with your eyesight, all of these things might be indicators that you should get yourself checked out for glaucoma. Yes? Did I get it right? Okay. Yeah. Now, for the information that we're waiting for you from, because yes, the screenings, very, very important.
All right, the Ophthalmology Society of Nigeria celebrates World Glaucoma Week, and there's a town hall meeting and free eye screening tomorrow, 10th of March, at 10 a.m. prompt. Sickle Cell Center opposite Luth Idiaraba.
Okay, 10 a.m. prompt.
10 a.m.
Sickle Cell Center opposite Luth Idiaraba.
Idiaraba.
Okay, there you go. So now you know, and that is that for today's episode of Lagos Talks, as we have discussed glaucoma and glaucoma awareness. The world is bright. Save your sight. Dr. Dowdy, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Lagos Talks. Very, very insightful, very, very informative. And now I know when to go and get my eyes checked, people. I know.
Shopper will be waiting for you. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed myself throughout the whole
All right.
day.
It's been great. Okay, so Smooth Breakfast is not done just yet. I've got some good music coming up for you, and then I will be back. Do stick with us right here.
Thank you. Was I better?